Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a super quick video on the Countess this morning. I don't actually see her very often in Monolith, and yet I actually think she's one of the strongest heroes in the game right now. With players no longer building armour or health or very much of it, she not only deals tons of damage, but she also has amazing wave clear. It's one of the quickest in the game. I admit that it did take me a little while to find a build that I was happy with and which I feel is effective, but the one I now use pretty much has infinite health sustain, it has tons of mana, it has fantastic burst damage, and it has mobility. There's a couple of variables and I'll go through those briefly, but overall I'm really happy with this build. In terms of build order, I think it's actually quite straightforward. Health and mana potion is a must, and obviously you'll buy that first. And then I'll tend to stay in lane for 2 or 3 minutes, whether it's mid lane, off lane, or safe lane, or even jungle. This build works in all of those areas. Once I've got to around 3 card points, I'll actually sell my health potion up here, and I'll pick up Drink the Spirits. Now Drink the Spirits is a really useful card, and you used to see it quite a lot with most mages such as Iggy and Scourge staying in lane, because it heals for 5% of killed units' health over 10 seconds. So it doesn't sound a lot, but if you can actually kill 2, 3, 4, even a full wave of minions with Dark Tide or a collection of your abilities and basics, you can heal for a significant amount of health. Now most Countess players are probably at this point thinking, well, what's the point in Drink the Spirits considering Countess gets a miniature version on her R&B? And that is absolutely true. Her R&B, which is Blade Siphon, does provide a passive regeneration that's 10 times more valuable when you kill a hero, or by default goes up to a maximum of a 5% health return, identical to Drink the Spirits. The reason why I take Drink the Spirits, however, early game, and certainly keep it until late, is because once Blade Siphon is at the max and 5%, plus Drink the Spirits, it's effectively a 10% return based on all minions you kill. I also take Drink the Spirits because Blade Siphon, until at least mid to late game, is not going to give you enough health return and sustain in lane from killing minions alone, because realistically you want to be upgrading Shadow Slip, you want to be upgrading Dark Tide, and you want to be upgrading Feast. Blade Siphon isn't necessarily at the forefront of where you want your damage to be or where you want your clear to be. So Drink the Spirits helps massively in terms of providing Countess with early sustain. It's also fantastic late game because when your Dark Tide is strong enough, you can literally use it once, you can clear a full wave of minions irrespective of how many there are, and you can get enough health return that your health, even if you were at 1 health, would be full within 2-3 seconds, because the 5% ties into oops, I just deleted that. Because it actually ties back into your R&B as well. So once I've got Drink the Spirits, I don't actually touch it for quite some time then. In fact, I don't touch it until at least mid to late game. On my next 3 points, I'll actually pick up Brawler's Ward, because you'll need it in off lane, you'll need it in mid lane, you might even need it in safe lane if you're babysitting an ADC. And then I'll choose to fully upgrade that. I chose 2 power and 1 mana. Again, the mana for a little bit more lane sustain so you don't have to back as often, and the power obviously to help with your wave clear. It's after this point there's a little bit of flexibility in this guide. If I'm against a really aggressive team that's high in crowd control, I'll actually take the Blink Charm immediately after Brawler's Ward. This does give you a little bit of dip in terms of your power because you have to save the 5 points, but I do think it's worthwhile for your early survivability. It also means that you can blink onto a player, use Shadow Slip as well, and then your ultimate if you're a little bit behind them or if they're moving particularly quickly. After this point, the build is really simple. You just purchase a Fountain Spike, upgrade it, another Fountain Spike, upgrade it, and then once you've got an excess of card points, you can sell those and switch them in for the more expensive Staff of Adament. You still get a little bit of mana, so 30 base and 6 power, but the upgrade begins to really steamroll your power because you get the bonus of 12 for each Staff of Adament. And that's about it. It's a really easy build. The main variable is Hunters Guile, and I take that in the place of 1 Staff of Adament. So again, it's up to you whether you choose to do it early after you've upgraded your Fountain Spikes or late game instead of taking the third. But I tend to find it really helps against heroes such as Narbash or Rampage, or even Feng Mao when he uses his hamstring. If your blink is on cooldown, Hunter's Guile really will save your life. If you have any questions about this build, or you're unsure what the order is, or any other variables that I might find useful or you think are useful, just leave me a comment below.